just a second ago, I told Kremer that previous game reminded me why I love casting, why I love Valorant, and why I love Polaris. What a game. What a freaking game. And now we get to see more of it. HEET and Excel, the game is not over.
What an intense game. That was map 1, Pavlos. Map 1. Now we move to Excel's home ground of Haven, but the worry is definitely there for HEET. Now, we've seen HEET play Haven in the past, and they certainly did quite well. However, can they mimic that success? And as we move into the second map, Excel, they have the momentum. And for me, the duel, initially it was between the Omens, now it completely changed. It's between Monstrum and Alive, the Jet versus the Raze. Do we see the Raze make a return on Haven? We'll have to see. I doubt it, but even if Monstrum does change his agent, will he still be able to match Alive in that proceedings? Bear in mind, Alive had such a dominant start to the map, but it was Monstrum who was always having the final say in the matter in that second half.
Yeah, I mean, compositions have been a little bit interesting worldwide now coming into Haven as well, right? We've seen a lot of changes in regards of what is considered to be a good pick, how, to what extent can you afford having a second duelist besides Chamber, because let's be frank, that's what he is. So... yeah, we're going to see some differences here, I'm sure. And whether we see Excel throw everything that they've prepared so far in preparation to playoffs, or they're going to bring out what we already know from them and what HEET can anti-strat, that is a different endeavor, right? But I think something you pointed out towards the end of the previous map was that the previous one was HEET home ground. That's one that they elected to walk into and the one where they should have been a little bit more comfortable in. But now we enter in Excel's territory. So you better know they're the ones that are looking at HEET here and knowing what they can expect.
You're absolutely right. And as we move on to Haven, I think for me, Foxy and Eccles were kind of varying IGL styles. I'm interested to see if Foxy has something in plan for Haven. Bearing in mind it's Excel's map pick. I was expecting Split to be our second and Haven to be our decider. Instead, it's vice versa. So potentially Haven has a few nuances from Excel that we might not be expecting.
The thing is, HEET had some incredible momentum, but it seemed like it fell flat right at the final mark when it was most important, right? And that's what we're kind of looking at right now. Where mentally is HEET? Are they the team that just weren't losing rounds, weren't dropping a single kill and getting all the entries and taking space and forcing Excel into mistakes? Or were they the team that over-aggresses and just falls flat? Right? Which of the two teams we'll be seeing right now? We know HEET to be a team that has a slow start. We've seen them overcome that and surpass it. But now it's no longer about it being a slow start or a good beginning. It's about them overcoming their own demons and playing the game they know how to play.
Yeah, absolutely right. And for Haven, for me, it's a map which is very momentum-based. If you're able to consistently get these opening kills, I think the main duel we see is over on A long. But if there's a world here where we're seeing our kind of operator players take those engagements, whoever's winning that duel is going to be able to dictate the entire pace of the map.
Yeah, and the balancing of the extremities, right? It's such a big aspect of Haven, right? Especially considering the long rotation time. Sometimes the defenders want to be the ones aggressing and taking some space. Something that we kind of see in Fracture. That's what we mostly see in Fracture, right? I guess that's the only similarity I can give those two maps. But in a way, it's all about balance, right? And if you don't balance it correctly, that's where you can falter. So yeah, I wonder how this one will work out. We know Excel to be deadly strong on this. I remember ever since Season 1, Haven seems to be a map that they favor. Throughout the multiple iterations of the meta, Excel always seem to be on top and the one knowing when things work and when things don't, which I can attribute to probably the Scrim partners, which I'd love to hear who they are, but I don't think we'll be getting too many words from them. They're not going to tell us. No. But yeah, I bet Excel have been scrimming with VCT-worthy teams, or if not VCT teams. So, you know, that's what I'm kind of see. Are they going to be adapting to the meta we've seen in at the top stages of Europe? We're going to have to wait and see. Let's see, though, in the Agent Select straight away.
I'm surprised to see the Cypher come out on Excel. So I feel about Cypher the same way I feel about Killjoy. More so about Cypher, actually. Which is, I feel their utility is way too static. And while Cypher on Haven is still a very respectable choice, I would much rather see pretty much anyone else, to be honest, maybe even the likes of a Chamber. For Excel and for HEET, I'm liking the Breaches on both teams. I'm a big fan of Breach at the moment, actually my favourite hero, my favourite agent in the pool. But, of course, while your Breaches are good, It's the duel between the Rays and the Jets. It's Monstrum and Alive, which will be the diction as to how effective this map will be.
It was a determining factor of the previous particular map, right? So it could be again, but I love the fact that HEET seem to have taken on a strategy and a composition very familiar to the top ranks of EU. They themselves could be scrimming with top partners, because I really love to see the chamber now being picked up by them with no duelist.
Excel, they are silent, but they're not violent. They're laddish without being caddish, and right now they have the final say in elimination for HEET. And when it comes to that level of sophistication of play style, I couldn't think of a better matchup. Excel versus HEET. Welcome to Haven as HEET go for an early push through A long.
Welcome to Haven, or welcome to Hell. Let's see if there's a safe haven for either of these teams, or they will struggle to find refuge, where each team is trying to do the same thing. B-site opening could be where they're looking to enter straight out of the bat. Excel will be spotted. Dark cover sets. Spike goes down. Already, good note for Excel.
Excel being able to go to 5 retake as well. It's a really comfortable position to be in. Make that 5-on-4. Chihuahua, clean opening, even able to double down.
That's why you put Chihuahua on Cypher. Although I know we're not seeing the kit of Cypher being used, but he's always so comfortable on it, and the lurks he can do are just immaculate. Such a star player when it comes to that Sentinel and lurking role. King Guyan looking to push forward here. Alive taking him down. Excel, they've got this round written with their names engraved on every bullet they shoot. Waddle, you love to see him feeling a little more comfortable. Mo finally shutting him down. Ramoy cannot hold on to the spike defusal. Mo comes alive at the final mark, and it's Excel to start things off strong with first blood.
On the topic of coming alive, I want to highlight Alive there. In that round, I love his decision making. Gets hit by the Prowler, instantly deploys 2 of those smoke screens, and then dashes out of the smokes once he knows the attack is about to pounce on him. Means he can then turn 180, frenzy, and take the 1 versus 1 without being isolated, without being overwhelmed. And it means that when he does eventually die, that's just a trade from Waddle. That's not an advantage. I mean, Waddle, sure, he has a terrific 2 kills, but that only equalizes. For Excel, they come out the gate swinging, 1 round on the board, and you look at the investment now from HEET. We're not seeing a second round buy. It's down to an eco. The hope is that the utility will do all the damage here.
Flash out. Excel start to demand space and respect from HEET, although Orb has been collected. See the wraparound from the HEET side, converting towards mid, putting all of their chips into this play, and looking to regress. It's been called off by them. Paranoia maybe to delay it, going for another swing, could try and catch another one off guard, but it's a simple trade. Garage control is no more. They realize that the A site has completely opened up and open for the taking.
HEET, though, being able to trade 4-on-4, if you can trade evenly, that's all they actually need right now. Foxy is in danger of being caught out from behind as well. That Cypher tripwire is inactive, so there is nothing to alert Foxy of the oncoming flank. Instead, HEET realize it could be anticipated, set their gaze back to defender spawn, whether they come through Link and hope that some presence in heaven may be enough to either overwhelm Excel or do enough damage to make the round worthwhile.
HEET approaching from an elevated position. Let's see if they can omen well. Fault line well placed here for Mo. Paddy Tack is able to find a couple of shots here. Damage found onto both Kinguyan and Ramoy with a Marshal of Alive. And Excel double up their score 2-0.
That they do with a very clean fashion, to be honest. I can't help but think that if you are on a HEET at this point, you are going to need to change something a little bit here. Your aggression hasn't worked. The push through mid did overwhelm a player, but it did also mean that Excel will just open to go to whatever site they dare choose. Now it's the full buy of HEET. They need to keep as many players alive here as possible, otherwise they could be in serious danger of finding themselves in one of those buy loops which allowed Excel to get such a huge lead over on Ascent.
I don't think Alive expected a smoke to be falling quite close to him there. Already initializes his dash. Of course, without it, his confidence will be hindered in this particular round. But you don't expect Excel to find too much. If they're able to close up the gap, those Spectres can pack quite a punch. Whether we see that come to fruition, a different question. Eccles, the captain, first in contention over in C-Long. Slowly give the call to the rest of his team to come and back him up.
Eccles now, the man of the hour. Can he stop this surprise, contact play from Excel? Will he be caught off guard?
Well, that flash does call it out. Quickly traded onto the back end, not expecting Kigugian to be that close. Means that HEET find the better end of it. Spike is collected and planted. Excel have got a good chance, and they've retrieved some weaponry as well.
Fault line actually hits his teammate there, but Remoy instead holds on to his utility, flashing for garage control, being so methodical with this retake of HEET here.
That was his final flash, though. Only can work with a fault line from now on, which means their life has to play very aggressive. Kigugian able to shut him down. That was their chances. Now quickly hindered. Looking to trade it back out. Paditek quickly shooting down Kigugian. Mo holding on. We're down to 1-on-2, but he's only got a bulldog, and the time is dwindling. Has to find the safety of the cubby. Remoy looking to touch the spike. Waddle. He's heard the footsteps. Means all he has to do is try and isolate them. What a shot by Mo. All down to Remoy, and the pressure's all onto him. There's nothing he can do.
Oh, it's perfect!
Comes down from Mo! Mo, the lawnmower, is here to take down some grass!
My God, and if it's anything to go by, Mo with precision like that is leaving football field-esque grass. I don't know where I was going with that one, Pavlos. You're going to have to help me.
Yeah, golf field, football field, I don't know. Golf course. I don't know.
Greenery as far as the eye can see. I know HEET is going to incinerate this ground. As we see Excel now, 3-0 in the lead, converting their bonus round and forcing HEET into a thoroughly uncomfortable position.
Oh. Looking like a fairway. Most distinguished golf courses of the United Kingdom. Sorry, I've taken that too far.
That's it.
Mo the lawnmower.
When to stop?
He's done his job.
He absolutely is. And for now, Excel, they find themselves with a fairly slow start, actually, completely stacking up, looking to hit the safe site. And what I love from Excel is they know they're against an eco. They're stacked together in a position where they can trade one another, and the IGLing prowess from Foxy goes to the one point of the map HEET have no interest in defending.
I hate to change the subject from the game right now. It should be an Excel venture, and it shouldn't be interrupted by HEET, so I'm just going to carry on saying this. As soon as I saw the boombot there, I wished Mo was a race player, so we could call his bot the lawnmower. I wish that we could have seen that. Okay, Mushroom doing some damage. Okay, this could be doable if I find some more. But this time around, Excel have got crossfire positions. They're not going to be catching anyone singularly out that easily.
Right there.
Going for the retake here. It's every player from the same angle. This is a huge commitment. They have to find a way to brute force their way through the counter utility. The Nightfall gets committed.
Haunting the dreams and making them nightmares. HEET and Remoy. Mushroom! No way! No!
Wow!
No way!
Okay.
Stop it, man!
Thrifty.
My God, Pavlos. That was a full eco. That was a full eco from HEET. They committed a Nightfall, a tour de force. That was it. Pow, 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 lines them all up, sends them all down, and just like that, our gunslingers have found their approach. What a way to find their way into this map. Haven is going to be a battleground, that is for sure.
It's the Wild West out here, man. These sheriffs doing quite a bit.
Teleport's ready.
My God.
Yeehaw!
It's got to be careful. Pings off the angle, just backs off. Can't risk losing players in attempts at land grabs here. Monstrum, hoping to get that Cypher camera, actually misses it in the process instead. Will destroy the armor on one of these doors, hoping to maybe exploit an angle here.
Okay. Excel have to be cautious. Yes, you got that first map, but you gotta be honest, it wasn't an easy one, was it now?
No, it wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. Ace site now under contestant. PQ, lone player to stop this attack.
And he's able to find some damage. Rendezvous out of there. Gets out of harm's way. flank is being covered, although it will be challenged by Monstrum. But incrementally, Heat start to close up this gap. Prowler looking to find some space and catches Paddy Tech off guard. Foxy opens things up here, but the paranoia is what they are relying on. Mo to shut it down, but no, Monstrum now can be a caveat on the back line, which means Excel need to be finding these kills quickly or else to be in trouble. Showstopper coming through. Chihuahua with a bulldog. Goodness me, 2 dogs in 1. Chihuahua doubling it up. That's the triple. Excel on 4.
This is no yappy terror here, Pavlos. This is a member of the Wolfpack. And for Excel at 4-1, Heat's now left in such a dire position. Yes, they can buy, but look at the ults, Pavlos. Remo and Echo still need an ult point to bring theirs up online. And Excel are continuing this momentum despite going into the round a man down. An incredible hold here. But with a kind of 50-50 success ratio of being able to hold this A site, how long can they continue this stance? How long can they continue these retakes, these risks? Excel, we need to see some bigger attempts at getting this man advantage. Better still, we need to find Heat able to hold theirs.
Ooh, alive. Got a little bit too greedy there. Of course, the one-sided smoke of Foxy that assist them in holding that very aggressive position. But other than that, they spread out. They play a very much default round to calm this place called Haven. Heat, they're working off in the dark right now. They are suffocated from information. Things are thrown at them left and right, but they've got no indication as to C-long crunch.
Hills has to do everything here. He has to either defend this or get a kill.
Oh, Chihuahua.
Either possible here. Spotted out. Both players know each other's position, but that's enough. That's all Excel needs to do. They've got the site. Look where the spike is, though.
Look at with the mush push coming in from Heat. It could be interrupting the onslaught coming in alive. Looking to rotate, but it seems that Heat may want to stop this. If they're able to find a couple of kills here, this could be doable for them to get the wraparound. Look at alive. It's all down to him. The dumb time for Monstrum looking to get the blast pack over to get a jump in on him. Won't be successful, but Alive is keeping them busy while the rest of the team has gotten the spike down and found themselves a wraparound in mid as well. Multiple levels to this place. It's a full test being played out right now. And Eccles is a final queen surviving.
This is 4D chest with quantum time loopbacks as Excel find themselves 5-1 in the lead. But here's the thing, Pavlos. That round from Alive was just perfect. To be able to delay the rotation by that long, to be able to then survive for that long, when you know 3 players are hunting you down, you call for the assistance. Chihuahua goes through Garage, re-clears Garage, goes back out into mid, and then assists to keep alive. They're bearing in mind, this is while the spike is down on C. It's a risk on Excel's part, but it pays its dividends. Now, Heat, reinvestment comes in. Guardians on 2 players, but the money is not there. From the Shadows of Rolling Thunder need to be committed to a masterful decree here, should they want to find their pace back into this map.
Very aggressive here from Heat. They've been able to find themselves 1 kill, but Chihuahua may be in trouble.
Oh.
Goodness me. The Guardians doing their work, but look at the opening created over to the C-long side. The expenditure plays towards mid has given a clear room for Excel to move into, although there are a lack of numbers, which means Alive's plays from spawn have got everything to do.
Nguyen gets ready for this follow-up. Is hesitant to push the time being. He wants Remo to be in position on the flank first.
There's a Rolling Thunder available for them as well, which does help out their endeavor, but they're so far spread out, it means they cannot catch all of them at the same time. But that's Alive. He can only go by process of elimination, knowing that he's towards spawn. A lovely shot, but he's up against 3 now. This is going to be tough. Fault line towards him, and Waddle with a wide swing. Heat back in this. A lovely play and proactivity from them.
The fact that, for a moment there, even when Alive was still in a 1 versus 4, the fact it even looked winnable, the fact that was even an option is just terrifying. You know what I want to see, Pavlos, from Heat here? I would love to see a timeout. Would love to see a timeout now. Either the second they lose a round, or the second they win a round that they shouldn't be. Not the topic of rounds that they shouldn't be winning. Remember, 2 Guardians is not the weapon of choice, but they're still able to take the rounds in a relatively clean fashion.
And that proactivity and aggression caught Excel off guard by so much.
Yeah.
I mean, they found the opening towards C-long, but they were forced to win trades after that. But they spread out, trying to win them individually, by flanks, by weird positionings, that they eventually got caught off 1 by 1 themselves. C-long seems to be the name of the game for them. It seems to be a C long simulator, because it's all we've been seeing for the past few rounds, but it's worked out for Excel. At least they've been getting the spike consistently down 3 out of 3 rounds.
Chihuahua in danger now of being outflanked potentially in spawn. Gets the swing, doesn't favour him now. What can Mo now do to recover this?
Okay. That's one, not the trade he would have liked. Eccles moving in from garage, and he's got reinforcements. Smoke fading, dropping actually. Foxy close by. Oh! Quickly traded alive, coming out on top on his trader, which means they're keeping things equal. Rolling Thunder finally utilized. One of them is concussed, but a Rolling Thunder right back at them. Yuna reverse card, Patty Tech coming in. Remoy looking at aggress, but completely concussed. There is absolutely nothing he can do. And Excel come out on top.
Seismic centers around the world right now are going off thanks to these double rolling thunders. The fact that Monstrum auto sensor, he almost leaves the stratosphere he's set up so high. But nonetheless, despite that Patty Tech, while being concussed, is able to take the duel onto Redboy after killing Monstrum and still survives. And here's the thing, they didn't play that badly, Pavlos. That was a great reaction from Redboy, especially with Eccles as well. Goes from the shadows, sees that the flank is cleared by one player. They overwhelm them. They trade beautifully with a man advantage. It should be a home run from there, but no, alive now. The player who was able to help give that support to Patasek, the player now who has been on our tongue quite a while. Goes into aggression outside of 8. Elsewhere, Foxy, the IGL, good for the first. Monstrum falls. The heavy hitter of Heat down. Now, who picks up that gauntlet? Who picks up that club? My God.
Oh. Time to take a breather. It should be Excel's, and it is. Okay. Calm it down.
And relax.
And relax.
Back to normality.
Breathe in and out, everybody. Take your breaths.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Meditation time. Excel are gifting us this. It's kind of a statement piece, right? Heat are the one fighting for survival. Heat are the one fighting for a chance for playoffs. But Excel, one statement after the other. And that statement is, we're just better.
They're just better. And for Heat now, here's the thing, right? Everyone warms up. No one starts warm, and I mean, with an apt name, it was the second half where Monstrum was able to deliver that, frankly, monster of a performance. Does he have the time now? Is there enough time left in this map to be able to wake up? With only 3 hours left in this first half, we need these duelists of Heat to start delivering.
Ooh, quick little duel over in mid. We've seen Heat trying to go for that. Mo, you absolutely disgusting human being. He doesn't even see them alive, gets a little bit too overzealous there and ends up losing his own life. C position is what will be taken over Foxy with a fake TP. Struggles to find his footing, but he gets it done. Crossing over, little by little, double peek. It's a 3-on-3, but it's Excel that have taken most of the health damage here.
Look at the ult management. We've got the Showstopper and the Sword of Force both available. Sword of Force won't do anything, but that Showstopper could be what's needed to instantly garner that man advantage.
Chihuahua's got such a strong position here. Paranoia to delay. That gives away at least one of the positions of one. Aftershock, denying one of the possibilities, one of the capabilities. Foxy's end up falling. Monstrum unable to find the Showstopper placement. Where on earth does he shoot this? Does he expect them both to be on the long side? Chihuahua will be coming in, catching off ahead. Knows we can go in. Spray down comes through, and it holds true to his name. And Mo was able to run away from the Showstopper and stay alive, which means Monstrum is in a hell of a lot of trouble. Will fight with his entire being to find an advantage out of that one, but it's a little yappy dog to get the job done.
Once again, it's the little yappy dog that seems to act as the best guard dog, really. Second anyone comes close, that little thing is going ballistic. And I mean, hey, Heat, they stepped too close to that territory. They stepped too close to that spike. They got the Terrier to deal with. Chihuahua able to give an insane round here. And that's something I want to highlight for the rest of Excel is Chihuahua alive, Mo, Foxy, all have had a huge round. Even Patatech, only 5 kills, but it's the impact of the kills that we're seeing here. Tour de Force comes out, Excel ready to run into it.
Oh, King Guyan had to use his ball back there, though doesn't end up with a kill. That's unfortunate. He's also paranoid this time around and can't use his rendezvous to get out of dodge alive, just simply using the tempo created by his team to take over the site. The only high impact weapon is out of the camp of Heat. Now they've got to rely on Sheriffs and Spectres, and the hopes have quickly dwindled.
And boy, finished off. And I mean, hey, every kill here is going to leave a bitter taste in the mouth of HEET. Joao and Mo both chime in. Eccles alone finished off. 9-2. Do we see a curse, Pavlos? Or is this curse? Is this damnation for HEET?
Oh, imagine. Oh, imagine it. Give me another 9-3. I freaking dare you.
Send us to overtime. You won't, HEET. No balls. Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not?
Oh.
I don't know if our voices can take it, but let's do it.
Wow. What a game. Thing is, doesn't feel like it's one-sided for Excel, to be fair. Because all of these rounds have been so splendidly close. And I feel sorry for HEET. Keep in mind, both of us did think that they had a chance in this. Out of all the talent, we're the only two that did put our faith in HEET. Excel seem to just... Yeah, I think we may be regretting that. Kinguian on an elevated position. It seems that he's given away that position. Eccles spraying it down. HEET have got on the advantage. Into the cage he goes, but ends up dying. Kinguian, though, is the saving grace of the team. Alive with an interesting position, though. Ooh, boom goes to dynamite. But Ramoy, make sure he keeps that explosion at bay for now. Foxy up against 3, 2 positions, one on top of the other. Now with only 17 points of health, will have to fall. The fourth 9-3 score at halftime of the day.
Oh my, Pavlos. Is this the curse? Is this... Here's the thing, even if it isn't the curse, it's been a terrific game from both teams. It looks fairly one-sided, but here's the thing: they've been making the right decisions. We're seeing pushers in the right position. We're seeing them outflank Excel. We're seeing when it comes to actual retakes, their util time, their ultimate timing is actually very bloody good. It's just Excel. Their responses, their counter util, their trades, their initial gunfights have been proven time and time again to be insurmountable. We hit the defense for Excel, 9-3 in the lead. They know just as well as we do that a pistol round here could be one of the killing blows to HEET.
And they go to the defensive side. HEET, their only timeout of the half, expended straight away.
I like the fact we're seeing an early usage of it, to be honest. If I'm HEET, I would be pretty worried. Bear in mind that you've just had a, let's be honest, pretty disappointing half. You need a solution, right?
You really do. But you don't know what you're up against yet. You don't know where Excel have got hidden. The depths of the defensive sites of A, B, and C.
On my mark.
Alpha, there. Bravo, and Charlie. What is their first take?
For now, it's going to be on to Excel to try and gauge where he can poise themselves. Bear in mind, for HEET, it's a bit of a default for a pistol round. Alive, he sees the initial util, but there's no player behind it. Monstrum does get pinged, but that might be an intentional ping from HEET to give Excel the illusion that he is stacked up outside of EMEA.
Keep him busy. Deny rotations. But it seems he may be walking into a trap, unless they're walking into the B site. Garage does not feel like a safe space, even though it may hide the illusion of cover. Paranoia in B, breaking of the cage. Triggers no movement from the Excel side. Adequate positionings for the defensive. Looking to push forward, sees and plays, denial of positioning. Paint shields from Monstrum, Patty Tech on the back end, flash to keep him in it, looking for more. HEET on the back end, looking to swing together in unison. Together they go, but together they fall. Mo with a double shock, that lineup would drop them like flies. And it's all down to Eccles and Ramoy to recover, alive with a backstab setup. and it's exactly what is needed. Bullet to the forehead of Eccles, and Ramoy is a dead man walking, or is he? Yes, he is. Chihuahua eliminates him, and that is Excel with a pistol to put them on double digits.
Pavlos, it's time to rocket down to Electric Avenue, because Mo's taking it higher. What's around from him there to be able to land a double shock dart, double kill? And you really get to say that, that's for sure. And it was going to replay a bit because that second dart, look at it, just eradicates HEET's backbone of a defense there. And for Excel, at 10-3, there is very little room now for HEET to wiggle. They need to be playing near perfect.
And considering that Excel have been doing that this game, and have just given us a chef's kiss of a double shock dart lineup, this cannot be an easy affair. Monstrum, desperate measures call for desperate times. Sorry, desperate times call for desperate measures. I got it right the second time around, okay? Charge. Oh, dear, Foxy is toying with him. Foxy wants more, but Eccles denies. But Chihuahua's there to stop. This is getting from bad to worse. Humiliation, annihilation, Kinguyen. I need to think of another Asian, probably to send him to a different nation, because he's looking to hide away from the slaughter.
The insurmountable dedication from Excel is proving to really react to the provocation of HEET, who desperately attempt to make it to that C site. And I mean, look at Foxy there, giving us a demonstration of why that judge is powerful.
Love the commitment to the Asians. Love the commitment to it, man.
Yeah, that's about it, right? HEET. You look at the vibe from HEET. It has a bit of power behind it with that Vandal, with that Bulldog, but it's you want to be when you're on the precipice of map and series points. Stacked up, ready to move to A here. A bit of presence shown in mid as well, just so they have more than one avenue of attack. But look at the confidence starting to build. Look at the aggression of Alive.
Oh, Alive. What can you do? Beautiful first shot. Ramoy goes down. Oh, that's a buy round from HEET, and it's just been taken down like it's an easy day of work. Something they've done multiple times before. Equalized standings in regards to numbers. HEET with space control towards mid, but still to rotate the spike in that direction, which gives plenty of time for Excel to find off positionings. One of them, crucially enough, could be Foxy, as he's on the entrance of Garage. If he finds a good wraparound to mid, he could be the difference maker.
Things go out. Race one of them gather there.
Oh,
Utah is just perfect.
It is the paranoia as well, but it seems there's no one to pick up the pieces. Monstrum again, able to find one, but quickly traded back. Again, Mo on the back line, wary of it. This guy's brain is massive. And Kinguyen can only scratch his head
30 seconds
and
left.
wonder, where did my teammates go? Why am I alive? But he has to have this existential crisis another time, because right now, he's called to action.
So we go from existential crisis to existential dread very quickly. 15 seconds and 3 players to find.
10 seconds left.
9 seconds. And counting. 6 seconds. Spike goes down. Excel move in. Kinguyen drops! As simply as that! Excel poised! Standing above the HEET side. And just stating, we just better.
Just better, Pavlos.
Match point.
12-3, and HEET now find themselves in a very uncomfortable position. Limited money, limited momentum. They're at a stage now where Excel, they look like they are about to solidify themselves as the reigning kings, the #1 king of Polaris. Pavlos, hail to the king, and let's see him pass his decree as HEET go for a full buy. Glass Cannon Vandal on Kinguyen here.
A last-ditch effort of a commitment for HEET. Flawless for 9 rounds running is something that we won't expect from HEET, considering Excel's performance so far. How adept they've been to put in their opponents in difficult and uncomfortable positions. Kinguyen and Model, though, open up this round, and with Paddy check being low, he's going to have to wait for reinforcements. A good start to the round for HEET.
start, but they're not on that site yet. They also don't have that spike down yet.
Spike
And without
down.
They're
Valorant,
so
that's the spike.
scared.
That's the spike gun, Pavlos.
They had an advantage towards the site, but they were so scared to move in. And that has given plenty of time for Excel to move, rotate, gain ground. They know where the spike is. They can just sustain this position. They can hold this crossfire. That's the fall line. Oh no! The collateral double kill! And Eccles, the captain of HEET, will have to fall with the ship. Will have to drown, and Alive will make sure his head will not pop again from the water, from the depths of hell. Excel top the charts in Polaris and are heading to playoffs with #1 seed.
For good reason, Pavlos. Excel just showed us why you do not goad them into playing against one another. You do not goad Excel into playing Haven or Ascent. The best thing you can do when Excel come up on your dockets is to curl up and pray they don't find you.
Well said. Couldn't have said any better. After HEET catastrophically giving away a 93 exchange, which could have gone their way,
One enemy remaining.
seemed to have lost all hope, all power,
One enemy remaining.
and gave Excel that first seed. And also means HEET are no longer fighting for that for that playoff spot. HEET, after what everybody thought, post-qualifiers, post-promotional tournaments, that they would have been at least in the top 2 or top 4, they don't even make it there. They go negative in their win and loss ratios and have to say goodbye to the season of Polaris.
A heartbreaking goodbye. Yeah, maybe a tearjerker to many, but if you're Kova, if you're Human Tripwires, you must have been watching this series with unrelenting glee, Pavlos. That collateral to end it, my god, that is just nasty.
Wow. Just wow. You've got to feel for Eccles here. This man's journey, so deep. But it's been plagued with expectations and disappointment. On the other hand, talking about expectations and disappointment as well, Excel, you've had your fair share of that. Oh, but this time is your time to redeem yourself. And this time you're not heading as underdogs in playoffs, you're heading as the top dogs. Without any doubt about that. You've got to give the MVP to Chihuahua. What a guy, what a man, what a clutchmeister, what a multi-fragger, what a lurker. This guy can do it all.
Does it all on a Cypher as well, not the agent you would expect. Bear in mind that he was challenged quite a bit throughout this game. I mean, I think we saw one Neural Theft for the entire game. It wasn't those ults that were sort of carrying the info game. It was Chihuahua just having some godly aim and ungodly game sense. HEET kind of 5 or 6 times we saw them on the flank, and every single time, without fail, Excel knew they were coming.
Props to Excel, quite honestly. That was a performance I think everybody wanted to see from them. A performance that we would expect it from Team Finest earlier today, let's be fair. A performance that Finest couldn't deliver, and one which Excel could. And looking into playoffs, I think a lot of expectations are starting to form. But at the same time, that is a storyline for another day. 2 spots are still being fought for, but with one lesser team. No more HEET to fight for them. It's down to Human Tripwise and WhoCast to prove tomorrow who is boss. But we've got an interview ready. Not quite sure who it is.
It's Mo.
It's Mo.
Mo
Oh,
yeah.
Lawnmower himself. All right, let's get Mo over here. Let's get him into the call. Mo, congratulations on your victory. What a performance. Just tell us what your thoughts are.
Honestly, it's about 50 degrees in my room and my hands are slipping off my mouse, but we played well, so that's all that matters.
It really is. At the end of the day, it really is, man. Super strong performance. Did you expect HEET to come fighting back like that after that 9-3 deficit? And also, did you expect them to fall flat on the second map as well?
Honestly, with HEET, we saw like they had the Raze and Fate like comp on Ascent. It was something we never played against, and I think it's really strong on defense, you know. So they kind of surprised us on the defense side of on Ascent. So we kind of threw also at the same time, but they played really well on defense. So it was good from them.
how do you feel about sort of showing strategies? Or bear in mind, you're already qualified for playoffs. You're currently just fighting to stop Heat from getting playoffs. Is there a line you draw as to what strategies you show and don't show? And how do you differentiate that?
Honestly, most of the time we play on our individuals like strams, so we don't really have to show everything. But we do have a lot of stuff for playoffs, so we're not really scared of showing anything right now either. So you'll see in playoffs, I guess.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear, and I'm looking forward to seeing it as well. Now, you've been in this position before. Last time, you weren't the top dog at the time when you entered playoffs last time around, right? There was expectations around Alliance. Tenstar was in the uprise, Tundra as well. This is a completely different endeavor. This time, you're the favorites, right? And you've won the previous season as well. What do you think differentiates this version of Excel than last version of Excel, and how far can you take it in the European grand scheme as well, competing against other regional leagues as well?
Honestly, we think it's going to be a walk in the park in playoffs again. Like last season, we struggled kind of a bit, but I think now with our team, it should be honestly easy. And we want to have a rematch versus Finest also, because I think we will destroy them in a rematch. So we'll see.
Oh, I love it.
Love to hear it.
I love it. Absolutely. Final question for all your viewers watching, for all your fans of Excel. Do you have any kind of message to say to them just before you enter playoffs?
Just thanks for supporting and stay hydrated. That's it.
Love it. You stay hydrated as well, Mo.
Big up.
Great to see. Big up. Thank you very much for joining us on the interview. Greatly appreciate it. And best of luck in playoffs, man.
Thank you. See ya.
Take care. Wow. Okay. Composed,
Fighting
calm,
talk. I like it.
Seemed a little bit sweaty, but at the same time, he seemed like they've got one clear goal in mind, and that is to take it all.
Yeah, my heart does actually go out to Mo because he said it's 500 degrees in his room. It's a well-known fact in the UK. The second it goes, thermometers in the UK are broken. Any temperature above 20 degrees jumps to 500 because that's just how it feels. Unfortunately, it's fact.
Yeah.
So the heart does go out to Mo there. Have to play in such awful conditions.
Yeah, I'm super glad we got to hear from Mo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a good guy to have on. I remember there was a character last time around, Ozzy. He was such a nice guy to have on the interview. A lot of fun moments we've had with him. Obviously not in the roster right now, being replaced by Foxy. So honestly, they're looking strong. They seem to be confident to take the whole thing home. But I think it's time for us to move on and have a little bit of a look about this particular game in general. Let's wrap this up before we move on to the standings and everything. Give me just a couple of, in a sentence, how you would describe today's matches.
Individually, Excel played out of their minds. It wasn't Heat played badly. It wasn't Heat played badly at all. They had strong setups. They had very strong compositions on Ascent. It was just every duel they took, it's almost like they were instantly at a deficit because of how effective Excel were on their select agents.
Well, let's look at the standings. Let's see where this leaves us. We've already alluded to the fact that Heat can no longer progress, but we got to look that Excel have solidified their spot at the top of the leaderboard as Finest are now in second. And there's only two teams battling out. The three teams battling out for the final two spots. HEET with an advantage, having a 4-2. But if things change tomorrow with Kova, Human, Tripwires, and HEET, all three of them having to play their games, it could be either of the three that could make these spots possible. It's exciting. Anything could happen. And that is what Polaris is all about.
Absolutely right. And bearing in mind, tomorrow, the games we have for both Human, Tripwires, and Kova are battles for survival. They're battles for qualification, Power for Loss, and for both Alliance and HEET, they're going to be either King Makers or King Slayers. They're going to have to find out tomorrow, though.
And I think there's also some heads looking down in shame as well in the talent department with their predictions and their standings. We both voted for HEET today. We stood incorrect. And that means that Jinero and Aramizuki are the only two in the lead. I handed that hurdle over. I wanted to take a risk, but a risk is called a risk for a reason. Sometimes it does not pay off. And you, Kremer, you've trailed even further behind. Let's just ignore that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Let's just move on, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this out of there. Let's see who from Jinero and Aramizuki are able to win tomorrow. Regarding the predictions, we'll see that later on, of course. But for now, Kremmer, this has been an excellent day of games, and I think we're looking forward to tomorrow more than ever. And by talking about tomorrow, let's have a look at our schedule, Human Tripwires, with Hookahs playing up against tomorrow. First up, Hookahs, if they win this, they guarantee themselves a spot in the lead. If Human Tripwires win it, Hookahs will be in an equal standing with them, and we'll have to see how a tiebreaker works out if Kova win their matchup. If Kova lose theirs, that means that both Human Tripwires and Hookahs get the third and fourth spot respectfully. So a lot to play out for tomorrow. Alliance with their final hope to get a victory in Polaris. So much at stake.
So much at stake indeed. It is a broadcast you do not want to miss. Be sure to follow the channel to know when we go live. I believe we go live at the same time, but at least if you follow the channel, then you'll get to know. Of course, before the broadcast starts, usually we're all in the chat to say hello to everyone. So you get to say hello to us. Isn't that great, Pavlos? You get to say hello to us.
It is great. Yeah, it is. I like saying hello to people. I'm a friendly guy sometimes. When I'm not tired and I'm not hungry, I'm friendly. I can be. And you guys can be friendly at our social media by following us at ValLeague_NE on either Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm waiting for everything to appear there, and it is awesome. Thank you. And also YouTube, by the way, a VALORANT Regional League of Northern Europe, Polaris. I'm getting better at saying that every single time. Love it. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Kremmer, it's been lovely casting with you today, and I'm excited to be casting with you again tomorrow for the final day where everything is on the line, where everything will be decided, the last day before playoffs here in Polaris. Hope to see you guys there. We'll be there. So, yeah, see you then.
One enemy remaining.